Alright, so I figured I'd just show the setup here and how it works and why it is more efficient to do it this way. So I've set up a farm to supply both setups here. They're more than enough. Set them at 9 workers. On my setup here, I've got one person in each grain mill. So each one is, the base speed is 405%. And then I've got 2 people working in this grain mill. So the base speed is 473%. So with these 2 workers going, it's not twice as fast, but it's close. It's probably about 67% more efficient. I'd have to do the math, but you'll see once I run the whole setup that it goes quicker. When I talk about things being exponentially better, once you start connecting steam to these setups, you'll notice the speed as I increase. I have 3 workers, so my total speed is 540. It's still not as good as the combined speed, so you've got to get to 810 before it matches the speed of this. So even with 5 workers, which of course I don't have enough people right now, but you would see that it won't put out as much leather as this setup. So I'll run it as 2 just as a fair comparison. And the only point of this whole setup here is to save workers. So that's really it. Obviously this takes up a little bit more space, but as you start to build your system out, I imagine these systems are going to get just enormous once your worker count goes up. I'm just based on the stuff I had to do with Factorio. So in any case, so we got 1 worker in each of these grain mill, 2 in here, and the pasture I've got it maxed, so they're both the same here. 1 worker in each, and that's fine because the holdup here has been the animal feed. So you've got to get 4 animal feed into this. And then the barn will hold it. So I've reset everything. Barns are empty. There is no animal feed in either one of these. The grain, there's this one actually, that one has 18, this is 17. So these fill up instantaneously. So that's keeping a supply in these with 9 workers. 9 is overkill for this. So we'll run it and we'll take a look and see what fills up faster. You'll get more. This will fill up, like I said, probably about 68% faster, whatever the math is, but it will fill up faster. So I think we are good to go. So I'll let it run, and you can see this is spitting out more. So we're at, when I hit 10, we'll take a look at what it's over here. Yeah, it's 7. So you can see it's spitting out a little bit more, and so we're at 15, and we'll just kind of let it do its thing. You can see here, it's waiting for animal feed, where this is never waiting. It's always running, and that's the whole point. The point is you never want this waiting. If you're waiting, you're losing time. So you're minimizing production, and it's all a math. You can calculate all the math based on how long it takes to produce the stuff. It's not super difficult, but I just go kind of trial and error. There's other guys who are mathematicians and stuff that can really get it to a brilliant science, but that's what Factorio is really really good. But what's cool with this is stacking stuff. Factorio is just 1 layer. You can't go up multiple levels, so it's kind of neat to go up multiple levels. But so I got 40 in here, and I've got 60 in here, so it is producing more. So so if we pause it here, and let's I'm just going to drop these to 8 just so I can max this. So we're going to put 5, so 675, that's the speed at which this is going to push out. These are unchanged, so 2 workers, 5 workers. In this system, total output 805% compared to 675. So it's going to produce marginally more, not much more, but it should produce a little bit more. But I've done it with 3 less workers. So Let's empty these out. Just reset this so everything is soup to nuts. Pretty good, close. Alright, so still should be enough to keep supply going. Now with this, these are stacked, so it's 2 feeds going in, so this still should get enough wheat or enough grain to produce the animal feed. If I notice it's going low, then maybe I'll have to pop another feed in here to make it fair, but because this one mill is producing more than this one mill now, so this might take 3 inputs instead of just 2. So we'll see. Keep an eye on that. That's the only variable here. Alright, this had, I'm going to delete. Let's clear out the animal feed, because you can see it, this had stocked animal feed, so even this pasture isn't keeping up. So once you go and upgrade this pasture, I mean this was bottlenecking. This was already producing more than this pasture can hold, whereas this couldn't even keep up with your grain mill. These grain mills were pumping out too much that this pasture couldn't keep up. So this was actually the bottleneck. So this would actually even produce faster than this. This is why you didn't see that 68% or 67. You know, you saw maybe a 50 or a 45% increase. So there's always a bottleneck, and that's where you got to figure it out. So just point that out. But okay, these are all zeroed out. We got 5 people here. So let's roll and see what happens. So 5 people. So grain's good. Nothing's being held up here, so this is getting more than enough grain. We got 14 in here, 18. So even with 5 people in this grain mill, it's still not performing as good as this. So separating the buildings out. Not with farms. Farms are good, but I noticed steam power. Steam is the same thing. At first I started popping people in here, but look, 270 is your base. You go 2, it doesn't double it. It's 338. So it doesn't make sense to add more people to steam. You pop, you just pop steam generators. So those are the things you got to look at. So there's really the only thing that I see adding multiple people for are workers and foresters. It looks like it's pretty much a one-to-one. Yeah. So increase in workers here, yeah, makes complete sense. But in here, you're not getting the speed gain. 50 in this barn, 61. So you're getting more, and with 3 less workers. So this is a better, more efficient setup. So that's all. That's what I wanted to kind of demonstrate. So if you're watching this, maybe you did. I don't make videos, but I saw some guy who got the 6,000 population. So my goal here is to now this is normally 525, but I screwed up my fish setup here to just do the comparison. So I don't want this number to fluctuate at all. So right now I'm building everything, all my productions and stuff, like everything is chock full. So I want 1,000 of everything feeding into this market, so that this number is never fluctuating. And so I've spent a good part of my population just to over-engineer all of these individual things, so that once I start popping houses down, they don't break. Although I'm pretty confident that if I was to put 10 or 15 houses down, these are not going to be sufficient to support that. I already noticed my leather. This whole leather system is not enough to support what I started adding, this whole cloth automation. So it's just a game, and it's always expanding. So I'm looking at this, and yeah, it looks cool. It'll work, but I'm sure once I've got 5 houses I can pop down. But if I pop 5 down, it'll be good. But if I ever put 10 more down, these are going to have to start being upgraded. So some of them I can pop steam in, and that'll help. But in any case, that was all I wanted to show, is just I wasn't sure. I've noticed several videos that I've watched people with these grain mills and things cranked, and people much higher than us, and the math just isn't there. So here I'm at 141 and 165. So marginally better, but again, he's got 5. So if if I was doing 1-to-1, it slows down quite a bit, and that it makes a difference. And like I said, this pasture is holding my setup up. So this actually should be producing faster if my pasture is upgraded. I could put another pasture in, but because see, it's full of animal feed. So, but I don't want to bother because I assume I'll be getting to earth crystals at some point here. So, but I guess that's all I want to show. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I know the 800. It's not 873% better. It's just that's the speed. That's whatever these guys. That's their speed number. So all I'm saying is just the base speed, 405. This base speed, 405. And when you add 2 people, the speed does not go up much at all, which I think is to me seems kind of strange. I would think adding 2 workers, maybe it doesn't totally double, doesn't bring it to, doesn't make it twice as fast, because if it did, it would be 810. But I would think 2 people could do a little bit better than that. So that's why I do it this way. Maybe they'll fix it or something, but and change it, and then that'll defeat the whole purpose. But as it currently sits, this is faster. So 198, 243. You can see how much, 1-to-1. You can see how much faster this starts filling up quicker. And again, this is bottlenecked. This is slowing me down. So now you take steam off and stuff. It still does better. So 270, 270. I'll take this off. So your base 338. So and then so at this, you're at 540. So it's marginally better. It's still going to produce more, but then once you hook up steam, this system becomes even more efficient, and it's just a cascading effect. The more stuff you plug in, I don't know, I don't know what else is coming. I see all these mana crystals and crap flying around, so who knows what I can get these individual things up, besides steam. I'm surprised I haven't seen people use steam more, because that makes a significant impact, and it's cheap. I got 1 coal miner feeding this, feeding these. I mean, it doesn't take much. 1 person can, usually power at least 2 facilities, if not 3. Actually, I was powering all 4 of these 2 and these 2 with just 1, and I still had some leftover production. So yeah, steam is pretty good. So all right, I'm done talking. But if you watched the whole thing, great, appreciate it. If not, then no sweat off my back. I just figured I'd demonstrate the math here. So all right, see ya.